After being one of the most slandered picks the 2021 NBA entry draft, Scottie Barnes would go on to become the Rookie of the Year, putting the league on notice. In today's video, we're going to discuss how far Scottie Barnes can really go in his NBA career, and also talk about how the NBA is turning him into their next superstar. Let's get into it. What's going on, NBA and Raptors fans? It's Jacob here, back with Amateur Hour Sports for another Toronto Raptors YouTube video. On this channel, I bring you the greatest coverage and analysis on the latest Toronto Raptors news. So if that is of interest to you in any way, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You can help us on the road to 12,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody, for helping this channel hit 11,000 subscribers. We're going to keep pushing forward. And hey, if you find yourself enjoying this video along the way, be sure to drop a like because it goes a long way to supporting the channel. Let's hit 300 likes on today's video. But today's video is all about Scottie Barnes. And what I wanted to discuss in today's video a little bit was how far Scottie Barnes can really go in his NBA career. But I also wanted to put a big focus on the way the NBA is handling the player, which is very strange for the league and all of its media. It's a very strange way for them to handle a player that is on the Toronto Raptors. Very rarely does a Raptors player get as much media coverage as somebody like Scottie Barnes is. And it all started with the draft. Obviously, going into the draft, we were shocked to see him actually selected 4th overall. And I think the majority of Raptors fans, at least the ones who are brave enough to admit it, would say that they did not want the Raptors to select him 4th overall going into the draft. And I am definitely one of them, and I've admitted many times in this channel how wrong I was about saying that going into the draft, because evidently the Raptors, Masai Ujiri, Bobby Webster, everybody in charge of selecting and doing the scouting and all of that stuff, they were very much right, and I'm very happy I was wrong about it. I was very happy to be proven wrong, because Scottie Barnes was outstanding, and he was the deserving Rookie of the Year in 2022, which we will get into a little bit further on in the video. But from before the draft, I mean, we were talking about Scottie Barnes a lot. We were talking about, the way he played in college with Florida State. We were talking about what he could bring to the NBA. We were talking about what he would really be doing in his rookie season, and all of that really exploded after the Raptors made the pick. For some reason, it really did feel like right after Scottie Barnes was drafted, he was getting so much attention from media personnel, and I felt like on YouTube, like Scottie Barnes was just generating a ton of buzz on the platform. Like, obviously myself, a Toronto Raptors YouTuber, I'm going to be making Raptors videos 3-4 times a week, so I'm going to be talking about Scottie Barnes a lot. But I also felt like a lot of general NBA YouTubers are making tons of content on Scottie Barnes. And the reason people were making all this content about the player was because, well, he was generating viewership. People were interested in Scottie Barnes, even though after the selection he was getting a ton of slander, even though after the selection we were thinking that, okay, this is going to be a work in progress, this isn't going to be a guy who goes in and wins Rookie of the Year in his first season, but this is potentially somebody that the Raptors see as a future piece to a possible contender. And my goodness, did he blow away expectations. But even though we had those limited expectations from going to the season, people were all over Scottie Barnes. People wanted to see Scottie Barnes content. And I'm trying to piece together why that is the case. I think it's just because he's such an enigma of a player, like the way he plays with his size, his athleticism, his wingspan, along with the intangibles. I mean, it's hard not to like Scottie Barnes, the way he portrays himself off the court, the way he portrays himself on the court. If you're a neutral NBA fan, like I really struggle to see anybody actually hating on Scottie Barnes for the person that he is. I mean, I think people just love to hate on Scottie Barnes because, he plays for the Raptors. Raptors fans online can be quite obnoxious at times, so it's easy to pull out a little bit of hate there. But the person, I mean, it's impossible to hate this guy. And the NBA from that point was really starting to understand what they had on their hands with this player. And over the course of the season, as he was blowing away expectations with that outstanding game against the Boston Celtics in just the first few games of his career, like, Scottie Barnes put the league on notice immediately that he was going to be an absolute player in this league. And all throughout the season, obviously the media kind of built on that, even though Evan Mobley at the start of 2022 was kind of building that Rookie of the Year case. Near the end of the season, as the Raptors were ascending into that 5th seed, that's what really propelled Scottie Barnes to be the Rookie of the Year. Now, I would say that he deserved to be the Rookie of the Year regardless of the records, regardless of the Raptors having been lower than the Cavs, eventually finishing higher than the Cavs. However, I do believe that the media voted for Barnes to be Rookie of the Year as a result of the Raptors leapfrogging the Cleveland Cavaliers in the standings. I thought he deserved it anyway, but had the Raptors not done that, I'm not sure if he wins it, but we will never know because he did win it. He did win the award, and I was saying all throughout the year that he was going to be the deserving winner of that award, and I was happy to be proven right by the NBA voters in general. And that was really the cherry on the top to an outstanding season for the player, where he blew away expectations. We thought he was going to be a work in progress. We thought he'd be coming off the bench, but no, he started every game and got heavy minutes because he was such a good player. He averaged 15.3 points per game, along with 3.5 assists, was an excellent rebounder as well with 7.5 rebounds per game, almost 50% shooting, like very, very good efficiency. And the 3-point percentage is also great. We thought it was going to be broken coming into the season. Above 30% shooting from 3 is fantastic, going along with a free throw percentage of 73.5. Again, we thought that was going to need a ton of work, but he is so ahead of expectations. And NBA media, I love that he won Rookie of the Year because it is forcing people to talk about the Raptors and the Kevin Durant saga and how the Raptors are a huge player in that game. It's forcing people to talk about the Raptors, but also there are a lot of people not forced to do so that are just going out of their way to do it because they know the hype, they know the buzz around this player. And recently, probably what sparked me doing this video, there was the Slam magazine cover shoot. And this to me is it just feels like the beginning of something special. This to me, I know it's just a magazine shoot, but Slam magazine, that's kind of a big deal, especially for a player of his age. It does feel like this could be the beginning of something that really propels him into superstardom. It really does signify something to me because, well, it's an ice cold magazine shoot. That's for damn sure. Like Scottie Barnes looking good on the cover, but also it just reminds me of something else, I've got the Vince Carter Slam magazine cover right behind me here. If you've noticed that, that is to this day, we still look back on that magazine cover shoot for Vince Carter and how that was just kind of the beginning of what he would become, the icon he would become in the city before ultimately, wanting to leave and forcing his way out of the team. And hopefully Scottie Barnes doesn't do that, but it just feels like this is the beginning of that superstardom for Scottie Barnes. And the reason for that, it's not just because the NBA is manufacturing that. It's not just media. It's not just YouTube creators kind of propelling him into that. Certainly all the media coverage and all the people talking about him, all the people consuming the content around him, certainly that is helping the player with his case, but it's also the way he's playing on the court. Obviously, like I was saying before he even played an NBA game, he was getting a ton of attention on the line, but the way he was playing on court was also supplementing all of these things. The deserved Rookie of the Year winner. And now we need to kind of discuss, obviously the media is all over him and everything is set up for him to be a superstar. The only thing left for him to do is showcase that on the court, and that's where it's going to be the most important. There's been some overhyped young players in the past who have not really lived up to expectations. Scottie Barnes obviously does not want to fit into that category. So how good can this guy get? How far can he take this team? Because we're at a point right now in the summer where Kevin Durant is still on the table and they continue to ask for Scottie Barnes. And this is a player, Scottie Barnes, that the Raptors and Raptors fans, the huge majority, I would say over 80% of Raptors fans collectively agree that they would not trade Scottie Barnes for Kevin Durant under any circumstances. This is a Rookie of the Year winner. Many people are saying, well, this is a former MVP. This is one of the a top 5 player in the NBA here in Kevin Durant. You're not going to trade Scottie Barnes. And, you say no. You say, no, we would not trade Scottie Barnes. And there is a reason for that, because this is somebody who showcased to be way, way better than advertised in their first season. And the expectation at this point, it's not a hope. We're not hoping, he becomes this great player. The expectation at this point is that he is going to propel himself into that superstardom. He is going to be a perennial all-star for the better part of a decade at least. This is the guy that we want to be the number one option on our team going forward, not necessarily next season, but going forward. That is in the future aspirations of the Toronto Raptors. So with all these great stats that I showcased to you earlier on in the video, Scottie Barnes in his second season, we saw, even this season, some good examples. The way Anthony Edwards propelled himself into an all-star style player. The way LaMelo Ball propelled himself into an all-star style player. It's completely possible and feasible for Scottie Barnes to do the same thing. I'm not predicting he's going to do it because it's going to be very difficult to do so in a very loaded Eastern Conference at this point. But Scottie Barnes himself, along with that Slam magazine cover shoot, did an interview with them where he said he has aspirations to be an all-star this season. With the 15 points per game he already has, with the very good efficiency that he already has at 20 years old, I always talk about on this channel how efficiency comes with age. As a player gets older, their efficiency gets better and better. But just under 50% shooting, along with taking 2.6 3-pointers per game, averaging 30% from there, the shooting stroke is good, and this is a student of the game. This is a player that's going to consistently go to war in the lab, in the gym, to get himself better, to make himself the best player possible for this franchise. Like, this is definitely a player who can average 20 points per game. This is definitely a player who can average like a good amount above 20 points per game. It's very difficult to kind of assess what his prime is going to look like, but as he develops as a playmaker, he can get up to 5-6 assists per game. He's already averaging 7.5 rebounds per game. Why can't we up that? Why can't we get up to 8.5, 9 rebounds per game? And the points per game, as he becomes the more focal point of this offense, like, he already plays exceptionally well with Pascal Siakam after only not even one full season playing together. They are such a good duo. Those two, if we can keep them together, playing together, why can't Scottie Barnes get up to like 21, 22 points per game? Why can't he get up to those levels? Those are all-star numbers. Why can't he do all those things efficiently? And there really is no reason why he can't do that. That's the biggest thing. There is no weakness to his game. We thought it would be shooting. It's not necessarily shooting. Is it great? No, it's not particularly good, but considering we thought this guy was going to be shooting like 20 to 25% from three, or even not really taking threes at all, to doing this, it is exceptional what he has accomplished in just one season. And we don't want to set these lofty expectations. We don't want to set these huge expectations and thinking maybe he won't be able to hit them. But that is it. Like, we have to set these expectations because he was so impressive in that rookie season. And the NBA and media is propelling him into this huge figure on top of the NBA. I don't necessarily think he'll be the face of the league. Like, that's going very far. I think I'm already going very far within this video. But there's just something special brewing with this player, and I'm noticing it. I'm sure other Raptors fans are noticing it, and I'm sure neutral NBA fans are noticing it as well. Like, this guy is just at getting to the beginning of possibly getting absolutely launched into superstardom. Very, very rare for somebody to be able to achieve this just in general. Even more rare to be able to achieve this playing with the Toronto Raptors, a team, not playing in America, playing in an entirely different country. And they typically, or a lot of the times, don't get the same sort of respect in media, don't get the same sort of coverage within the media. So the fact that he's doing all these things right now, given his situation, given the slander he got when he was selected 4th overall, it is nothing less than remarkable, nothing less than incredible. And again, going back to that magazine shoot, the Slam magazine shoot, it just gives me the same vibes as the iconic Vince Carter cover. And it just feels like we are just getting started with what Scottie Barnes can truly accomplish in the NBA. As a player on the court, he's a future superstar. Off the court, the way he's getting portrayed, even more so. I'm so excited to see what he can accomplish in the future. I cannot wait to see what he's worked on over the course of the offseason and get into the next season. Can he make the All-Star team? It'll be difficult, but I'm not ruling it out. So how do you guys feel about Scottie Barnes? Is he truly the next superstar of the NBA? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that is it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please, if you did enjoy, be sure to drop a like. It does go a long way to supporting the channel. When you drop a like, it lets YouTube know that there are other people out there with similar interests to you who may also enjoy this video. Therefore, it is recommended to more people, helps get the word out about the channel and this video. Takes you a second to drop a like, but it does help me out a ton. And make sure, for the greatest coverage and analysis on the latest Toronto Raptors news, that you are subscribed to MHR Sports, and you can help us on the road to 12,000 subscribers. Guys, what an achievement to 11,000 subscribers. Less than a month ago, we hit 10,000, but we're going to keep pushing forward. I love making Raptors content, and I love that there are people out there like yourselves who enjoy this content enough to watch it and support me. Honestly, can't stress how grateful I am about that. I'll see you again next time for another video.